Today on The Social, a teenage dream? Justin Trudeau takes his daughter to Katy Perry's concert. Was this cool or cringe? And set up for success, we discuss the return of matchmaking and whether we trust our inner circle to play Cupid. Then, serving up spicy mango shrimp, oxtail nachos, and more. Fresh and flavorful dishes from the West Indies that won't break the bank. Plus, parenting an NBA player. Courtside mom Wendy Sparks tells us what it's like to see your child thrust into the spotlight and the tricky bits that come with money and fame. It all starts now on The Social.
We like to hear. Welcome to the show, everybody. Wonderful to have you all here. We'd like to welcome back host of Virgin Radio Toronto's morning show, Darren and Deepa. Deepa Prashad is here.
I was very worried that I was going to fall down the stairs in my heels, but thankfully we're off to a good
I would have got you, girl.
Yes,
Never let you fall.
It hasn't
Never let
happened
you
yet,
fall.
so, you know, it's fine. Well, listen, we're going to kick off with a story that a lot of people are still talking about because we're asking the question, is this a teenage dream or a nightmare? Because last night, Justin Trudeau was spotted at Katy Perry's Lifetime's Tour concert in Montreal. He was there with his daughter, Ella Grace, who is 16. Now, Justin and Katy are rumored maybe to be dating after they were snapped having dinner together in Montreal the night prior. So is this cool or is this cringe? What do we think? Cringe?
Good?
Okay.
Really?
Oh.
I think it's actually really cringe, only because I think that he's using it as a cover-up. I feel like if he went on his own and you're like, oh my God, it's just Justin, he's there to watch Katy, like they're 100% dating, but I feel like he brought his daughter just to kind of like hide it a little bit. Like he can get away with the fact that his daughter was also there. She was enjoying the concert, but I'm thinking she's 16 years old, right? Like what 16-year-old would want to go see Katy Perry? I feel, no. Ouch. I mean, like, no, she's great. But I mean, like, millennials, like that age group, like 16-year-olds see her flying and falling, and she's not getting good press, so I didn't think in my mind that, like, a 16-year-old would be like, yeah, Dad, let's go see Katy Perry.
Okay, so you don't think that Ella is the demographic for a Katy Perry?
I personally don't think so, no.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Really? I'm on the opposite end. I think this is cool. And I think, I know, oh, you just boo me? Dang. Y'all are rough. I just got back. Damn, give a girl a break. Okay, I think what people are forgetting is, do you remember, I know at the end of his term, a lot of people, the sentiment was, you know, F Trudeau. People were very angry. But if you remember in the beginning when he first got into office, that F Trudeau had a different meaning, if you catch my drift. And women all over the world, including Melania, were very happy to see him because he's a very attractive man. I think we forgot about that hoopla. So I'm not at all surprised that he's dating a global superstar. Also, let's talk about this. Let's be real. Divorcees are petty and competitive. And the best thing you could, right?
I see where you're going.
The best thing you could do is move on from your ex with somebody who is, you know, on a global tour. And what do? You bring your daughter who's just, look, did you see Ella? She's super excited to be there. Whether you think that she knows the music or not, she's all like taking, you know, photos, and he's standing there like, yes, look at me. I've moved on. And there's my girlfriend in this full stadium of people. Like, this is top tier petty divorcee behavior. So I'm not surprised.
If that's an element of it, that is a bit cringe, if that's an element of it. And I
cringe.
I don't know, there's something, if that's it, I don't know if that is, but there's something about somebody posturing in that way that I don't like as a possible, like, on the other side of that. I also feel like, is this giving a little bit of Travis Kelce? Like, are we about to embark on...
I hope
we're
not.
gonna see him,
what's wrong with that?
Are we going to see him at multiple Katy Perry tours where he's lip-syncing California Girl? Do we have to sit through that?
Yes.
Are we going to see him in sort of costume theme? He loves a costume. We know this already. Is he going to do anything sort of like to nod to her? I don't know. I'm just sitting there. I know. Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh, Cynthia. And everyone knows you're the nice one.
I am the nice one. I don't know.
I don't know what show I'm hosting right now. I'm actually with you. I think this is super cool.
Really?
Yes. First of all, listen, he's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Let the man live.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it is with a global superstar, is that a bad thing for his brand? I love this for him because, listen, I also love this for Ella Grace, who's his daughter. She's 16. You know, there are few perks when you have, especially at the end of his tenure as prime minister. He had such a hard go in the public. He was just getting raked over the coals. And it's one thing to do that because it's a political leader, and many people might say that's fair game to attack your leader in that way. And we've been having a tough go as a country. But the kids are innocent in this, and I always thought about his kids. So if the one perk of having your dad as a former prime minister is finally getting a box seat to a Katy Perry concert. You know, at 16, I wanted to be as far away from my parents as humanly possible. And at 16, she finally gets her dad. I have just learned with my daughter, who's 11, how amazing going to a concert is for the first time with your kid. It's something I never knew that I was going to love so much. This was bonding for dad and daughter. If he happens to be in a thing with Katy, good for both of them.
Yeah, it's even better. And listen, I'm just gonna end on this note. My parents didn't get divorced, but if my parents got divorced and say my dad started dating Diana Ross or Patti LaBelle, let me tell you something, I would love every minute of it. I would call her mom. Are you kidding me? That is the best. So Ella, enjoy your concert, and Justin, we see you. All right. Let's move on to something different. A driver wrote to the Globe and Mail to ask if there are laws against angry honking. He says more and more people are slamming on the horn for minor annoyances. It turns out there are fines against excessive honking. I didn't know that. By the way, that's across the country. All right, so the big question is, are you a honker?
No.
No? I think somebody's lying in here.
You're all
Somebody's
nice
leaning on that horn.
Canadian. You're all nice Canadians. Guess what? Not only am I not nice when it comes to me behind the wheel, I don't think we honk enough.
Really?
It's true. The honk is there. I know I was reading some of the laws. It's a patchwork across the province. And some of the laws are, it's supposed to be almost like a heads up, there's a hazard coming. But my honks have different words. There's a little, you know the light honk? Which is, yes, come on in. Would you like? It's almost like, you know, when you flash your lights, come on, yeah, beep, beep, come on in. Most of the time, and I'm gonna say something that's gonna get me in trouble with all Ontario drivers.
Let's do it.
Ontario drivers don't know how to drive.
No, I'm behind that. No, I'm behind that. I'm behind that.
If you are cruising in the fast lane on a highway, you don't know how to drive.
Yes,
that's
true.
And guess what I do? Am I right? I was in Italy 2 summers ago. They know how to drive. You know why? The courtesy is you move over all the way to the right unless you are passing me.
Okay.
People sit in the fast lane. Listen to me. Oh, do I beep in the fast lane?
Wait. Wait, isn't the rule you're supposed to ride their bumper and kind of give them like that? You're supposed to get out of this lane, you're driving fast?
It could be dangerous. When I roll up to let you know, here, this is not the cruising lane.
Don't move.
It's a passing lane. I don't care how long it takes. I will sit on that horn until you move out of the way.
I'm afraid of honking, though. I'm afraid of honking.
I'm a teacher, okay? I'm a teacher.
No.
Teaching you.
It's a bit dangerous.
It's dangerous, only because people in Toronto, I do not know how they're going to respond. I was actually in a situation where a guy brake checked us. He stopped the car all of a sudden.
Okay.
And my brother-in-law, he honked just to be like, hey, we're behind here, be careful.
Yeah.
The guy parked his car.
Yep.
The light was green.
Wow.
He parked, he came out of the car, stepped up to us and started swearing at us. Was like, what? Why are you honking? What's all this about? We're like, and then he came to my window. I was like, is that me? Is my brother-in-law? So even if you hit me, I'm not honking. I'll be like, okay. Anyway.
See, but here's the deal. I hear you with the annoyance because the drivers aren't great, but there's nothing worse than that person who's leaning on the horn. Not only are you annoying that driver, but everybody else around you is like, please get off the horn. Listen, you have 10 fingers. If you're annoyed, use one of them.
That's dangerous, too. That is really dangerous.
Does that happen to you?
I mean, I've done that before. I've used that, and then I've had the same situation where the guy is pulling up beside me. I think that that's dangerous too. I've done one of the worst infractions, and I know people are gonna get mad. I'm the nice one, and I've been driving with Jason in the passenger seat and seen something go on in front, and I've leaned over and used his.
Oh no!
I know, guys.
It's fine, I've done
but
it.
I have learned you can't do that. I wish somebody would design the car. You talk about using different intensities. I think we need entirely different sounds.
Buttons.
You
like
no.
a different balance.
Yeah.
You need a little like kind of like hey, like a little like doo-doo.
You said,
And
wait,
just like a nice
you think the
gesture?
passenger should have a button so that they can honk?
Even better. I hadn't even thought about that. Even better.
Well, that's where we're going to leave that discussion.
Great idea.
Car manufacturers, I hope you're listening. You're welcome. After the break, everybody, whatever happened to the setup? Does anyone play matchmaker with friends anymore, for example? Okay, we're going to give you our dating tips, maybe, after this. We'll be back.
Tomorrow on The Social, we're mixing up Caribbean cocktails that bring island vibes straight to your lips. Sunshine not included.
Okay, so if you're with us live in studio, we can hear what your feedback is, how you are thinking about the topics. But if you're at home, wherever you're watching, maybe you're at work watching us, and you're screaming at the screen, get online. We want to hear your thoughts. Get us on social media and have your voice heard.
So, do you remember the last time you introduced two of your single friends? Think about that for a minute, because a writer for Vox is asking if it's time to bring back the setup now that there's growing frustration with dating apps. I know. So I feel like we know what the audience thinks about this. If any of you were single or are single, do you feel like you would trust your inner circle to set you up?
Yes. We love this.
Yeah.
We should be doing this more. I've been saying this all the time. We should be doing this a lot more for our friends in general. There's a way to do it and a wrong way to do it. I don't want to be set up on a one-on-one. Don't set me up with your brother's best friend and like some date we're going to a coffee shop. Have a little soiree at your house. Give me the heads up about the guy you think is good for me. Let me go there, assess, and in a nice casual setting with people that I know that we have something in common, let me meet this person. If the sparks fly, the sparks fly. If they don't, no harm done. And also, there might be somebody else at the party who has the sparks with that person. I think it's brilliant. And I would rather be at that kind of situation than be sitting in my house, looking at my phone, swiping on a bunch of random men who are holding fish and posting monster truck pictures.
Okay, wait a minute. Would you, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you want someone to go and like pick out clothes for you?
Sure.
You would? You would trust somebody?
We have a
to pick out-
lovely, her name is Maria, and she does it all the time. And I
bad example. Okay, maybe that's a bad example. Would you want somebody to also like set up a friend for you? Like to be like, oh, I know this person who I work with who I think would be a really good female
I'll tell
friend
you
for
what.
Would you trust them
when
to do that?
When it comes to that, I trust my friends to a point. Have they gotten it wrong in the past? Yes, but their intentions are good. But I tell you what's a little bit dangerous. Going on these apps and meeting some random stranger that I don't know anything about, and I can't turn to anybody and go, well, what do you know about this person? What was he like in his last relationship? I don't have any of that context. That I don't want to do. I'd rather meet that friend. If we don't have chemistry, well, then we move on and it's all good.
I'll just say I'm not into the setup because I've had it happen once. The one and only time a friend of mine, my dearest friend, her partner, who I also adore, decided to do a setup. He's like, I have this guy friend. He looks like a young John Voight. I was like, I had to Google. I'm like, what does that look like?
Nice.
He was kind of attractive. Like, forget about who he is now. He was kind of an attractive guy. So I was like, okay, I'll meet this person. So I met this person. They were fully employed. Like, check. They were a really seemingly nice guy. No,
honey.
They were good looking. They were seeming, you know, whatever. They seemed interesting. But fast forward, like, it just quickly became apparent, like, this person had a substance abuse problem. And maybe some of you have heard me share this story on the show before, but one night he actually came over to my house inebriated and ended up peeing on my floor.
Oh, no.
So, forgive me if I say no to the setup, because I think we have blind spots sometimes to our friends. But it was bad.
I love, you're forgetting you're talking to a brown girl. Arranged marriage was very much part of our culture, and it had worked a lot of the times. And I think the thing with the setup is, I know a lot of friends, a lot of my friends are single, and they spend hours and hours and hours on these apps. I'm saying like 4 hours at a time, just sitting there swiping and all those things. So I think I would trust my friend circle to know who I like, the values, the type of person that I'm looking for, and they would most likely bring that person to me. Like, it's so common, like, you go to the temple and you're like, that's a nice boy, he sings a lot, like, maybe you should go talk to him. So it's just a little, it's not like, hey, I know this person really well, I want you to go and talk to this person. It's like maybe just a little hint of like, hey, hey, go and talk to this person.
Yeah, you just give me an idea. I gotta hit up the temples. You just give me a good idea.
Oh my
Girl,
God.
I'm not looking.
Sunday, me and you are hitting up the temple.
Let's do the temples. We'll see you at temple.
We'll see you at temple. You know, it's such a generational shift because, you know, when I was thinking about my family, almost all of my aunts and uncles have met their husbands or wives because of someone else in the family. I literally went through the catalog and almost every single person was like that. So something has shifted dramatically, and they're all married. I'm going to my aunt and uncle's 50th wedding anniversary this Saturday, and they were set up because the brother and the friend and whatever, right? It was a great setup. Ryan, I do believe in something about allowing chemistry to happen. There has to be that. I think the forced thing feels icky and it can only go wrong. And then you know, how do you ever see that person again and your friend? Like everything's too much awkward.
Circles too. Like if
everything
there's
gets
too
messy.
much pressure, it can get really messy. What we do need to bring back, again, off the apps, I agree, we need to get rid of that. But what we do need to bring back is just like having group social settings, like where nobody has a vested interest. It's just kind of like getting to know people.
Sounds like a setup.
It's not a setup.
Sounds like you described.
Oh my gosh, guess what?
Cynthia?
I think Cynthia just offered to have a party at her house.
I would love to do that.
We'll bring Temple.
Yes, I would do it. I would host something like this. After Temple, Deepa and I will meet you.
We're coming.
In New York. Done. All right, so let's move on. If you have ever been set up, what would you do if you hated your date's sense of style? A reader wrote to the New York Times to ask if tight jeans, hair gel, and cologne are reason enough to stop dating a nice man. She says that's just not her vibe. So is personal presentation a deal breaker? Audience?
Yes. I am not afraid to admit this. I'm very shallow. The first thing that I look for is looks. Like when I saw my husband, it's a West Indian term called star by. You're good looking, you look like a movie star. And I saw him and I was like, you're really attractive. But he's got a great personality and he's really smart. But I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't talk to him because he wasn't good looking and he had good style. If he didn't have that, I don't think I would have.
What if he had just said that he was good looking but terrible style?
No.
Really?
You weren't in for a fixer-upper.
No, I think like, because I'm gonna look at him all the time, I kind of have to like what I'm looking at. That's so bad.
No. But we're talking about you want to like his face. No, you want to like his face.
But his clothes,
and
too. I would like to like both of those things.
But he can change. Here's the deal. Listen, I think because I've dated so many people, I think that we get lost in like the little things where it's like, oh, he has to have perfect hair and a perfect shirt and he's wearing the right belt. Those things at the end of the day don't matter. It's character. Is he an honest person? Is he a nice person? How does he treat other people? Those things to me are more important. Over the years, I was way more shallow when I was younger.
Yes.
And I also know that I've dated enough people who had great character, and so they only had one black shirt and they kept on wearing it again and again and again. That person knows who they are. But we could just go to the store and we fix that. We make a little trip to the barber and I make light suggestions, and now this person is a whole new deal. And it's actually, there's actually a trend on TikTok called the black girlfriend effect. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
Listen, this is examples. So these guys have all posted videos of themselves before they met their black girlfriend and after, and they're like, right? They're like, this is before, this is the black wife, and now it's like, now.
Wowee.
So you know what? And here's the deal, he's a great guy, and it's all of these funny examples, but it's just like, I'm not gonna get hung up on a cologne on a shirt because I know you can change that. Your character will never change. So, I'll let that go. What do you think?
First of all, when I read the thing and her problem was the fact that he was wearing tight jeans and cologne, I'm like, he sounds hot.
Yeah, amazing.
I literally was like,
What's the problem?
What was the problem? Maybe she had to look at her own fashion. Because I literally was like, I don't see the problem. Having said that, I eat with my eyes first. And when I've met Ryan, I saw him whole package. What was the term? Star by?
Star by.
Star by.
Star by.
Starstruck, star by, star everything.
Yes.
I saw Ryan and it was like ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. But I also realized, because I knew what I wanted from the get-go, if we would have started with like, everything's great, but his fashion, I'm not in to be a fixer-upper. I'm not in to be your stylist. I'm not here to be your mama. I'm not here to do anything. You come as the package or not. Now, having said that, we're in 19 years together. And thank you. And Ryan doesn't have to worry about fashion for his job the way that we do. So he's not always on top of like what's the hottest men's fashion. So now I'm invested and I love him to death. He's the best person in the world. But now the fashion is, oh, you're gonna wear that?
Right?
So I'm happy to do the fixer-upper now. But it's because we're 19 years in.
Yeah, where are you going? Cheaper to keep him, girl. Cheaper to keep him at this point.
Let's take a break, everybody. Up next, what will you do if you found out that your fiance had actually cheated on someone else when you first started dating him? Oh my gosh, this is such a sticky story. What would you do? We're gonna tell you about it after the break. On the show, we get topics to discuss from just about anywhere and everywhere. And the next topic actually comes to us from Deepa, your morning radio show.
Yeah,
What is this?
Oh my God. So we actually had a listener write in for some advice, and she said, I recently found out that my ex-boyfriend of 4 years is engaged. He moved on pretty quickly after breaking up with me. So this came as slight of a shock, and out of curiosity, I went to their registry, and it happened to include their origin love story, which mentioned that they started dating right around the same time that we were still together. And the date is 6 months prior to us breaking up, completely overlapping. Should I tell his fiance that he was cheating on me with her? Would you want to know the answer to this before you married this man?
Why are you looking at me like
I don't
that?
know. Sorry.
Okay, would I want to know? I would not want to know, and here's why.
Really?
I feel like if I am ready to get married, I am in. I trust this person with all my heart and mind, I am in. And I also probably have heard stories about his ex, right? So I have a bias already. And the fact that she found out, she admitted in this question, that she found out about their marriage because she was looking at their registry or something.
Yes.
Sounds a little obsessive to me.
She hasn't moved on, clearly.
She hasn't moved on,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say for me, no, I would not wanna know.
Okay, I would say yes, I would want to know.
Me
and I'll
too.
tell you why. I'm going to assume when she says he moved on fast, it sounds like they haven't probably been dating for that long. In other words, there's still a lot of things to learn. And if you're choosing to get married the same way that you're like, I'm in, if I'm in, I'm in, I'm in only if I know everything and we begin the relationship with honesty. And so for me, the reason why I would want to know is, Tracy Melcher would always say to us on the show, like, I don't want to find out in the streets. I don't want to hear about your business on the streets. We don't know that the fiance doesn't already know this.
Right.
And like, listen, I know I come off also sometimes as a nice girl, but one time when I was pursuing a guy, I knew he was with somebody.
Yeah.
Now, I put it out there that I was...
Melissa
No,
Grelo.
I didn't... Yes, I didn't cross the line. When I first met him, I didn't know he was with somebody. And then when I found out he was with someone, I was like, okay, cool. I don't do that. I am interested in you, but I'm not interested in you if you're dating somebody else. Left that grenade right there, walked out the door. He did end up, I think, breaking up with her when he started dating me, right? So this fiance might already know this business, but if she didn't and you're about to get married, marriage, if you're gonna do it, take it seriously.
Yeah.
Take it seriously.
You start with trust, though, right? That's the most important thing. And if he's not saying that he was in another relationship while he started the relationship with you, to me, that's like hiding something. If you're okay with that decision and you're going to marry this woman, you should be able to have that conversation and be like, hey, you know what? This happened, and then she can make the decision on her own. Is she okay with
Informed
that?
consent.
Andrea,
Yeah,
do you
informed consent.
do you get a new job without already having a job in the wings?
Wait, what are you talking about?
No, let's expand on that. No, wait. I love that you asked me that question because let's expand on that. Now, I'm not as bothered as some people on the panel about this because in my experience, most people, and I call this the monkey bar effect, most people who are in a relationship, before you break up, mentally, you've been gone for sometimes months.
Yep.
And what people do is, this is their relationship, and what they want to do is before they leave this relationship, they want to make sure they got another one, so they monkey bar to the next one. Right? So sometimes, a lot of times, there is a bit of an overlap. It's not cute, but a lot of people do this because some people don't like to be single. Some people are like, I'm only gonna move on if I have somebody else. And this happens a lot. You're right, there should be transparency. But to your point, I think she knows because when you first start dating someone, people tell on themselves all the time. When you're gonna be like, so tell me about your ex, it's like, well, we're kind of in a complicated situation. You're like, there we go. You guys just still haven't really done a clean break. And the first few months of dating are usually pretty light. Right? You're usually still seeing other people. Or at least I'm doing that. I don't know what y'all are doing. Right? So it's not like we had commitment from day one. The first few months, we're kind of feeling it out. So I wouldn't have a problem with this. But I would find out anyway.
Okay, all right. So I guess I want to go back to something that you pointed out was that she was on the registry.
Yes.
Okay, so she's not over it yet. either. And so really, is this just a matter of like this
semantics?
Maybe semantics.
Or bad intentions.
I think it sounds like he broke up with her, is by the sounds of it. So, and we don't know why.
Yeah, we don't know.
And so at you know that part where you're like, are we broken up or not? Because you're on, you're off, you're on, you're off.
She didn't get her closure.
She didn't get her closure. Maybe he thought they were actually done, and she thought that they weren't. So is this just like we missed each other?
Ultimately, if you're about to go down the aisle, for better or worse, we all have stories in our past of things that we aren't necessarily proud of, and we don't know all the details. So we are either giving the benefit of the doubt to a complete stranger and his ex, or we're giving the benefit of the doubt to the person that we're walking down the aisle with. If there was a little bit of overlap, you have to ask yourself, is that the hill you want to die on? There might be many reasons, as you're pointing out, that the relationship was fizzling out. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But I'm going to go with the person that I know and I trust, and I'm about to walk down the aisle.
I'm with you.
That's it.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, let's see if we can follow up with this couple.
I think she should create a burner account and message her fiance.
true.
Make things really messy.
Deepa, thank you for the story, for the question.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You can catch Deepa co-hosting Toronto's 99.9 Virgin Radio morning show, Darren and Deepa. That's weekdays starting at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. All right, after the break, everybody, fresh and affordable dishes from the West Indies. We'll be back with that next.
Welcome back. Toronto's Caribbean Carnival kicks off today, the largest celebration of its kind in North America. And we're getting in the spirit with incredible Caribbean cuisine.
Yes, our next guest cooks for celebrities, and she's here with dishes she calls fresh AF. That's affordable flavor. Clean it up. Straight from the West Indies, please welcome the author of Cooking Authentically with Chef Brie, Brittany Bullard. Good to have you here. Good to have you here.
We're so excited. And before we get into the delicious food you have here today, can you talk a little bit about your celebrity connections? Who have you had the pleasure of feeding?
Well, I'm no bragger.
Brag, girl, brag.
But I've made food for so many people.
Okay.
Like the NBA players, some of them I really can't name.
Okay.
And Kim Fields.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so many other people. David O.
So great.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
David
so
O,
I did
yes,
some of
the
that,
Afrobeats, that's huge.
And 50 Cent.
Oh, my God.
What did he want to eat?
Seafood.
Okay, good to know. Now, as we mentioned, this weekend in Toronto is a Caribbean Carnival, so what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, I'm looking forward to just bringing the flavor and the heat. You know, this Toronto Carnival is basically the biggest in North America.
Yeah.
And we're just celebrating flavors, freedom, and happiness.
Yes, I love that.
good.
Yes.
Well, as you mentioned, your specialty is seafood. So let's start with that. Tell us about this spicy mango shrimp salad.
So I'm a seafood lover, and I'm also a salad lover, but I like hot salads, like flavorful, that leaves you full.
Yes.
Like I don't want to eat a salad and just feel like I drink a cup of water.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like, where's the food?
Yes.
So that's what we're doing with this salad. So what we did is we put it on a bed of arugula and the different mixed greens.
Love it.
And then we did a spicy shrimp. And then we did a seasoned mango with tahini. And then I made a guava dressing.
Ooh,
It is
guava
so good.
dressing.
Guava dressing.
Oh, my gosh, it's so
Brittany, what
flavorful.
makes this fresh AF?
Well, this dish is fresh AF because it's literally one bag of shrimp that's really affordable.
Okay.
And then you add an exotic fruit, and that gives it a luxe feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good,
Like
so
it?
flavorful, a little bit of kick. Do you have any tips on preparing this dish?
Well, with seafood, it's delicate. You want to just keep it fast. Say a shrimp on each side for 1 to 2 minutes.
Yep.
You don't want to overcook it. It can go from soft and supple to rubbery very fast.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so this dressing is incredible. There's a bit of sweetness to it, and it's made with guava paste.
Yes.
I've never cooked with guava paste before, so what else can you do with it?
So this one is a staple in my kitchen. I always have it. So you can rim your margaritas and make a guava margarita.
Oh my gosh, okay.
For the grazers, you can add it to the table with some brie and some crackers, eat it together.
That would be incredible.
It's so good, you have no idea.
Okay.
And then in the Caribbean, we just like to make it savory. So what we do is we mix it down in some barbecue sauce and we put it on wings and we just grill them.
So it's the kick that I'm tasting is not from the guava paste alone.
No.
You've added to that. Okay,
Yes.
great.
Right.
Oh, amazing.
It's from the
so
shrimp.
versatile. So
It's
good.
so good, as I have another shrimp on my fork. All right, so next up you have Bahamian grilled fish. Talk to us about this dish.
So as you know, again, I'm from the Bahamas and we have fish fries all the time. So what we do is we do a 1-pan meal with grilled fish. So it's just some snapper, boiled corn, potatoes, plantain, veggies, and like a citrusy broth. And it's a one dish, it's easy. Sometimes we eat it with rice, sometimes we eat it with grits. And that's good. And what makes this dish so affordable to me is that when you use the whole fish, it's so much cheaper than getting a fillet or a steak. Like you can get 3 whole fish for the price of 1 steak or 1 fillet.
Okay, so that's what makes it fresh AF.
So what do you
I'm so afraid of saying that.
I know, we're all singing very gingerly. Fresh AF. So what are your tips for making this dish?
This dish is almost foolproof. What you want to do is, because it's wrapped in the foil, you can't really dry it out. So what you want to do is just cook it low and slow, make sure it's seasoned well, and you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Okay.
It's so delicious.
It's so easy.
Love it. Okay, so we're moving on next to oxtail plantain nachos. Okay, tell us about this.
So this one is one of my favorites when I'm hosting. I wanted something that was giving Mexican, but with an island undertone.
Yeah.
So I swap out the tortilla chips for plantain chips that I made myself. And then I braised the oxtail for about 18 hours. And then I shredded it. And then we topped that with charred corn, and we did a pineapple pico de gallo. And then I made an oxtail creamer. So the reduction of the oxtail gravy, I mixed that with some sour cream, and I drizzled that on top.
This is so creative and so delicious.
honey. Say it. I'm like, this is so good. I'm moving into your house, Britt. This is delicious.
Come on, I'm looking for a wife.
Listen, you like to cook and I like to eat with a perfect union.
I know, right?
It'd be perfect. All right. So why do you classify this one as fresh AF?
This one is fresh AF because, one, plantains are cheap. You can usually find like plantains for like $2 or one for $2. So plantains are cheap and you switch it out. And then oxtail right now is a bit of a commodity, but once you mince it down, you can get 3 to 4 portions, what makes it it lasts a little bit longer.
Okay.
So that's what makes this one fresh AF.
Yeah, talk about why oxtail is a preferred protein for you.
So oxtail in the Caribbean household is a staple, and it comes from history, like we had to basically come from nothing to something. And that is exactly what this is, because using discard meats right now, and that's like this in a Caribbean household, everybody use oxtail. It's high in collagen.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to cook. But the flavor is always there. Like you almost could never miss it with the flavor with this one.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't missed on the flavor of any of these dishes. Everything's delicious, and we're gonna end things with a nice drink. You brought us the Bahama Mama Slushy. Talk to us. Right?
So everywhere you go, especially tropical islands, you'll definitely find a Bahama Mama. But I wanted to do something for the adults that's cool and a little bit more summery. So it's icy. So there's a little alcohol in there, so be careful.
Don't you see me sway into the breeze of music that no one else can hear?
The music in her head. So yeah, this one is just a staple, and I wanted to put a twist on it, just to make it a little bit more fun and summery.
What are the ingredients?
So there's guava juice, there's pineapple juice, there's orange juice, there's grenadine.
Okay.
And there's some coconut rum.
All right.
Yeah.
That's why it's so smooth.
That's why. But it's sweet, so be careful.
Too late for that. Too late. All right, Chef Bree, thank you so much for feeding us delicious Caribbean dishes. That was fantastic. All right, so after the break, the ups and downs of having a child in the NBA. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Having a child in the NBA.
They are all Welcome back. Our next guest is a mom of former Toronto Raptor Kem Birch and the host of the Courtside Moms Media Podcast.
She's also the Canadian representative of Mothers of Pro Basketball Players, an organization of moms whose sons play in the NBA and other professional leagues. Please welcome to the show, Wendy Sparks.
Good to have you, Wendy. All right, so let's start off. You know, there are a lot of parents out there who have kids in sports, and they're hoping or they think their kid is good enough to make it to the pros and get into the NBA. But talk to us about what it's really like when it actually happens to your child.
Oh, my God. So Kem was 14, and we started trying to make that dream come true. When your child comes to you and say, I want to play basketball, as a parent, you got to do what you got to do. So for us, that led to him playing Team Canada. That led to him playing AAU ball, and the journey continued all the way to the Raptors.
Wow.
So
this is amazing. Before you get to the Raptors, go ahead.
Which for us, don't forget, as Canadians, that's our dream, to play for our only country's team.
Yeah. So true.
Yes.
Before we get to that, Kem actually opted out of his last year of college to be able to go pro. So he is, we know, not the first athlete to do that.
No.
Okay, so you're the mom, so you're like momming and you're also looking at his professional career.
Yeah.
Were you worried that he was deciding, you know what, I'm gonna leave college early?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because of the unknown. You don't know what's gonna happen, right? He was #1 at UNLV, which is where he went to college, but then he actually went undrafted. And then you're mortified. Everything sets in. Draft night was just really scary for us because we didn't know what was gonna happen. But at the end of the day, I taught him, just pick up your shoes and let's move forward. The dream's not over.
Yeah.
It's just gonna lead us somewhere else until we get to where you wanna go.
That's important for
Wow.
people to
Yeah.
hear. All right, so,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, parenting an NBA player must come with its unique challenges, even though everybody's hoping their kid gets in there. I'm sure they're not even thinking about all the things that can come up, like, you know, dealing with money and fame and the attention and the women. So what worries kept you up at night when your son got into the NBA?
The women.
Okay. Okay.
You have no idea how cute your son becomes
Yes.
as soon as a paycheck is in the area,
Yeah.
right? So, but you know what? Kim and I have a great relationship. So for me as a mom, I had to do what I had to do to make sure that he remains humble.
Yeah.
And watch the people around you, because at the end of the day, it's not you that change, it's the people around you that change.
Okay, interesting. Okay, listen, we always think the second that someone sort of hits the pros, there's a lot of pressure all of a sudden that hits. It's the public scrutiny. Social media is going to have at them, the criticism, etc. So as a parent, were you worried about all of a sudden that sudden fame and also the pressure that comes with that?
Yes, absolutely. But you have to realize that with social media now, people have access to your kids immediately, right? You mess up on a game, they're there.
Yeah.
But as a mom, you got to be mindful that you can't really retaliate. So you got to do what a lot of the moms do. We just create fake accounts.
No! Spill that tea!
Listen, we'll create a fake account and go in. You know what I mean? It's just all in fun. It's really all in fun. But, you know, Kim had to remove himself from social media just because he was like, I need to focus on being a player because at the end of the day, that's what's important. But we don't have to as moms, right? So
I love that tea that you just spilled, that the moms are like, oh, yeah, you want to say about my son?
Don't talk about my baby. I got you, keyboard warrior.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about like the reality of being an NBA player. You're gonna get traded, you're gonna go to different teams. Your son has moved around quite a bit. Talk to us about how you help him manage all of the relocating and you know, all the trades that are going on.
Well, relocation is really difficult, especially if you have a family with a wife and children, right?
Yeah.
If these kids are in school, you can't just get up and go. Right? So that's when you call your family and say, hey, I need you to help and help us move. It's very difficult though. I mean, I remember at 1:30 in the morning getting a call, I'm traded. Wow. I got to report to my new team tomorrow morning because we're playing somewhere else. That's just the reality of the game. And I remember when he got traded from the Raptors, that just broke my heart. It really did, because we love Toronto, we love the fans, we had such a good relationship with Canada, and we're Canadians. But at the same time, thank you for the journey. Let's move on and start a new chapter together. And that's what we did.
Wow, that's hard.
It's a village.
Yeah,
It sounds like it takes a village.
Yeah.
Well, it really sounds like not only the moms are such a backbone for the players, but it also sounds like you all among one another have such a camaraderie in your organization as well. So I want to know, though, you all seem so nice, but when your teams, your son's teams have to play against one another, what happens?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So we're competitive, not just our sons. So we'll be in the arena and we'll be texting each other. Good luck, girl. And just all in love, right? And at the end of the game, we go hang out. But sometimes, for example, if I can't make a game, a mom will call me and she'll say, okay, I got you. I see your baby. I'm gonna go give him a hug. And Kim will be like, did you send someone's mama over me to give me a hug? He says, Mom, she's amazing. Creepy, but it's amazing. And we laugh about it. But the camaraderie is always all in love and support, because that's what we do.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Women supporting women.
All the time.
Right? So I also saw that you ladies were at the draft recruiting new members. So what are the first few things that you tell a new NBA mom?
Be prepared. This journey is a beautiful journey. It really is. It can change at a moment's notice. Better to be ready than, you know what I mean, than to have to find out after the fact. And also keep your circle tight.
Okay.
Very, very tight, because you're gonna have people come from anywhere that's gonna want to support you, the fake people that are gonna want to support you.
Yeah, you were alluding to this a little bit earlier, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about financial planning.
Yeah.
Because when your child suddenly comes into a lot of money, what was your approach in terms of how to guide him through that and how to keep him financially responsible when maybe he just wants to bling out a little bit and just celebrate also?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first thing is make sure that your financial advisor understands the game. Because at the end of the day, us being Canadian, and he's playing in the US and playing overseas, you have to make sure your financial advisor understands that, because you don't want to be paying taxes and all around the globe.
Okay.
Putting a budget is so important. I understand you want to bling out. I want bling out too, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? That $20 million bracelet's not really a necessity for you to be.
Yeah.
So it's really vetting people, really making sure that that budget is reality, because they don't know. They don't understand.
And he listens to you.
Oh, he does. Well,
Yeah.
now he's 32, so not so much.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
But at the time,
In the
it was-
beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah. And there's no one in the league kind of pulls these young men aside before they sign their contract and be like, you know what, you should make sure you get a financial advisor. Or are you pretty much just on your own?
That's at the beginning, earlier, but they
Okay.
just give advice. Understand, these boys are 18, and a lot of them are already considered adults. So this is
Right.
why my platform, Courtside Moms Media, we educate the parents to make sure who's ever in front of you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're gonna talk to my son or my daughter, but you're gonna talk to me as well.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose of it, so we can prepare the parents for this platform.
Love that.
Yeah,
We
it's-
love that.
Yeah, education is key.
So Wendy, we know you're Canadian, but you're also here specifically in Toronto because this weekend it's the kickoff for Caribbean Carnival.
Yes! Woo-hoo!
So I love this. Your organization, Mothers of Pro Basketball Players, you're going to be featured in the parade.
Yes!
Which is so exciting.
ma'am.
You're also raising funds and awareness for some local charities. Tell us about your work this weekend.
So this weekend we're here in collaboration with Comedy Records here in Toronto. And what we're gonna be doing is 2 comedy shows and then a comedy hoops game on Sunday. Comedy versus industry is going to be awesome at the Maple Leaf Gardens. And then we'll be also doing other events, parties and stuff like that. And we'll be donating back to Jamal Magore's foundation. here in
Wow,
Toronto.
that's
that.
fantastic. Well, this was really, really cool. We got a whole other insight into pro sports like we never have before. So, Wendy, thank you so much. Thank you for being
having
here.
me.
And congrats.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
There's never a dull moment at The Social.
We are going to have one heck of a time.
With hot takes and fiery debates.
I'm too old for Leonardo DiCaprio anyway.
We dive headfirst into juicy conversations.
Where are his wild oats now?
No topic is too messy.
I'm gonna blame all of the boyfriends that I've had.
No discussion too heated.
That is an invasion, in my opinion.
Just real talk and fresh opinions. Watch The Social weekdays at 2 p.m. on CTV.
On tomorrow's episode of The Social, a look at restorative justice and why a lot of experts say it is one of the best ways for victims to heal. Also, we're going to be, at least some of us, are going to be mixing, sipping, and winding down with cocktails in honor of Toronto's Caribbean Carnival. And I just want to welcome everybody who's new to Toronto and you're visiting. Come to The Social. Enjoy yourselves this weekend. A lot of tourists going to be in town. So welcome and experience all the beauty and glory that is Canada. So welcome, welcome. We want to let you know that we do stream on Crave. We are on YouTube as well. We've got our podcast on the iHeartRadio app. So we want to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, beautiful audience, for being here. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.